Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar. My name is Richard Rejea. I'm a Network and System Engineer at Richter. We are together with Salah Alamin from PCH. Salah builds PCH internal IT network and server infrastructure. Before joining PCH, she was a network and system engineer for the Sudan Research and Education Network and the Nile Center for Technology Research. Sarah is a co-founder of the Sudan Network Operators Group, SDNOG. Welcome, Sarah.
Hello, welcome everyone.
And we are together with the PCH team. Thank you for being with us on this call. We are going to start as we are waiting for others to join later. We can start our webinar. We are going to start with our today's agenda is we are going to talk about RINEX presentation in brief, like for 15 minutes. After RINEX presentation, we are going to welcome Sarah to present QUAD9 presentation, talk about QUAD9. And later on, we are going to for Q&A session for 20 minutes. Then after, we are going to finish our call. As quicker as possible, let's start talking about RINEX. Let's start talking about who we are. Richter is a private, not-for-profit organization. We have been in operation since 2012. RINEX, Richter manages 3 services. We manage akadomorwa.rw domain names as Rwanda top-level domain, and we manage Rwanda Internet Exchange, and we represent Rwanda Internet community, like for giving trainings to the community and doing advocacy for internet users in Rwanda. We are going to use these acronyms for this session. RINEX is Rwanda Internet Exchange. IXP is Internet Exchange Point. ASN is Autonomous System Number. ISP is Internet Service Provider. IP Transit is a service where an IXP allows traffic to travel through their network to its final destination at a cost. Peering is exchanging traffic between 2 networks, ISPs at no cost. CDN is Content Delivery Networks. BGP is Border Gateway Protocol. We are going to talk about what is an exchange point. Exchange points, simply it's a switch where the ISPs and content providers connect and exchange local traffic. Basically, that is the exchange point. It's a physical device where the ISPs and content delivery networks, any institution with content connect and exchange local traffic. We have a short video from IXP that explains in details what is exchange point. We are going to refer to it. We're going to watch it, and it is going to give us a clear image for the ones that they don't understand or don't know what is an exchange point and what the use of exchange point. After watching that video, we are going to explain the benefits of exchange point. Let's watch this video.
When you use the internet, what happens? Whether you go online to chat with a friend or send mail or buy a book, or check the weather, watch a movie, or study the Peloponnesian War. It feels like there's one wire connecting you directly to the thing you want. But a billion other people are connecting to a billion other things at the same time. How does that happen? It's really about making agreements. Think of networking as a game. It only works if we agree to play by the same rules. Otherwise, it's not much fun. If you can get 2 or more computers to play together, you have a network. If your friend can do it too, there's another network. But if you both agree that your networks will play the same way, now you can hook the 2 together. You have an internetwork. The rules we play by are called the Internet Protocol. And as long as we all agree, we can keep adding more devices and more networks until the whole world is connected. That's what the Internet is, a network of networks that share each other. Every device on the Internet has its own unique address. Anything you send via Internet is really just a message from one device to another. But it doesn't travel in one big block. It gets pulverized into tiny packets of data, each one wrapped with info about what it is, where it came from, and where it's going. This way, your one message can actually take several different paths to its destination. Then, by following the protocol, the receiving device knows how to put it all back together. The strength of the Internet is that it's decentralized. With so many possible connections, there is no single point of failure. If one path gets overloaded or broken, your data just takes a different path. Even if a big chunk of the Internet gets wiped out, your message can still find its way. But let's say you use one Internet provider and your friend is on a different one. How does your data really get from one network to the other? Some companies make private connections with each other to exchange traffic. But more and more traffic is flowing through shared service platforms we call Internet exchange points. An Internet exchange is a place where many different organizations come together to interconnect their technology. There may be access providers, broadcasters, publishers, social network sites, telecom operators. Really, anybody who relies on network traffic can benefit from the exchange. By connecting in a common place, they save costs, and the traffic between them flows faster and much more efficiently. Traditionally, providers have sold each other passage on their networks. But for some providers who regularly exchange traffic, all that buying and selling can get to be more trouble than it's worth. Many of them saw that if they just agreed to meet each other halfway, then everybody's costs go down and the traffic moves more smoothly. Providers are able to make a single connection to the platform to exchange traffic with many participants. This way of doing things is called peering, and it's making the Internet faster and more affordable for everybody. The exchange participants make deals with each other according to mutual benefit, so the peering system tends to regulate itself. It may seem like companies are giving away their services, but in fact, each is providing their part of the whole solution their customers need to most efficiently and reliably exchange traffic. The Internet is open, decentralized, and totally neutral. Its intelligence lives at the edge, not in the core. No single organization controls it, and that's why it works as well as it does. By agreeing to cooperate, we all make the Internet happen. And that's how the Internet happens.
Thank you for watching this video explaining what is an exchange point in details. basically, internet exchange point, as I said, is a physical infrastructure through which ISPs, banks, and any content provider meet and exchange traffic between their networks. An exchange point enables networks to efficiently exchange information at common point within a country rather than needing to exchange local internet traffic overseas. Basically, IXP is a physical infrastructure that allows different ISPs and companies with large networks to connect to each other and exchange local traffic between their networks by means of mutual peering agreements, which allow traffic to be exchanged at much faster speed and reduces the cost of international routing. Here we have a scenario of exchange points. On the black arrows indicating local traffic, red arrows indicating international traffic. On this blue device is a switch, RINEX switch, that is connecting ISP1, ISP2, and ISP3. Let's take an example like ISP1 to be like MTN, ISP2 to be like Liquid, ISP3 to be like BAC. And here on this icon, we have institution network. Let's take example of like BPR, Bank Popular. BPR is buying internet on ISP1. Let's take example of MTN for both local traffic and international traffic. This ISP buys a redundant link to the ISP2 for both local and international traffic. But this IXP, he doesn't know exactly what is the local traffic, like how much capacity of the local traffic and how much capacity of the international traffic. They just buy the link from the capacity from the ISP. This causes, like this ISP, when this international link goes down, the clients for this institution, they're going to be affected. Hence, they have a backup link, but they're going to be affected because both traffic, both local and international traffic, going via one link. And the exchange point came up to solve this problem. On this slide number 2, this institution joined exchange point. It is connected. This black arrow, as I said, indicates the local traffic. Now from this institution, now the local traffic for the clients are going via exchange point. They only buy transit capacity for international users who wants to access their services, or the service from the institution that want to go to the internet. In this scenario, this is going to solve like two things. One, they're going to reduce the capacity they're buying to the transit capacity they're buying from the ISP, because most of the traffic is a local traffic. Like, let's give example. If it's a bank, the main traffic for the bank is their online services, and most of the online services are accessed by the Rwandans. Let's take an example. They're going to minimize, if they're buying like 10 Mbps from the ISP, they're going to reduce it to the 10 Mbps, because the local traffic will no longer use that link for ISP. They're going to use the link for RINEX, where all the peers are appearing. And another advantage is when the international link, the link they're buying from ISP, goes down, the local clients are not going to be affected. There is no interruption of service when the international link goes down. because they are traffic going via exchange point. Let's continue with the, if you have a question, please feel free to put it on the chat. Let's talk about the benefits. What are the benefits? What are you going to gain when you join Internet Exchange Point, RINEX? Basically, RINEX keep the local traffic local by eliminating the need to exchange local internet traffic overseas. For example, if like BDF appears at exchange point and BK, their traffic will be exchanged on the locally instead of going to the internet from one node to another. That decreases latency in service. Your service is going to be accessed easily because you're in the same LAN. Then the next benefit is you get access. You get access to the CDNs. We have CDN that exist at exchange point. We have Facebook, we have Cloudflare, Netflix, and others. You get access to those CDNs when you decide to come to exchange point. And another benefit, which is very good, both ISPs and institutional network is any institution with content. You can save money. How are you going to save money when you join exchange point? As I said earlier, the capacity before you join RINEX, you are buying capacity from the ISP. That capacity combined local traffic and international traffic. When you join RINEX, you're going to minimize the bandwidth, or you're going to downgrade your link from maybe like from 100 Mbps to 10 Mbps. Basically, more traffic, more services are accessed by the Rwandan community. Another benefit is better network performance and better quality of service. Let's give example of Rwanda Revenue Authority. Before Rwanda Revenue joined RINEX, they were having troubles when the taxpayers wants to pay taxes. You know, most of the taxpayers, they pay on deadline. They have to increase the bandwidth from the transit, from the ISP, because the main people accessing their application, their tax platform at the same time, and that link gets congested. Then they had that challenge for years and years, and then after joining RINEX, all the traffic for the taxpayers are going via exchange point, and they downgraded their transit capacity from 75 Mbps to 10 Mbps. And their services, their customers are happy because their services are fast and they are fast to access, and they are reliable. There is no downtime. Another is accessibility for local content like e-banking and online services when international link is off. This benefit, like as I said, before joining RINEX, you had one link that is combining local traffic and international traffic. But when you join RINEX, your local traffic will be separated from international traffic. When your international link goes down, there is no any interruption on the local traffic. This is the important aspect to consider. We are going to see the requirements to join RINEX. What are you required to have before joining RINEX? You need to have a public IP address from RINEX. RINEX is African registry that is managing public IP addresses. You need to have ASN, autonomous system number. You need to have a transport link to transport you from your premises to the RINEX switch. And you need to have router with BGP capabilities, because you'll be using BGP to pair with the peers that are existing at action point. The last one is we are going to talk about our partners that are existing at action point. You have different partners in the different clusters. We have operators and ISPs like MTN, BSC, and others. We have banking sector. We have like BK. We have government institutions like Rwanda Revenue. We have CDNs like Netflix, Cloudflare, and others. And have other partners like PCH, and we are on the call with them. And you have potential clients. We have like BNR, they're about to join, and BRD, and others. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, we are going to welcome Sarah for presentation, but if you have a question, please feel free to write it on chat. We have time to respond to the questions. Sarah, you're welcome. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can take over.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. I will need to share my screen. Okay. Just a second. You can see my screen all of it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you can see my screen, everyone?
Yes, we can see it, Sarah.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Trust you are doing well. First, I would like to thank RICTA team for organizing this session. My name is Sarah Hassan, and I work at Packet Clearing House. I would like also to introduce my colleagues who are online now. Dibia, our peering coordinator, and Nishal, internet analyst. And we all here for you. So if you need any help, or if you need any, if you have any questions, please let us know. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about Quad9 service that is already there and exists in Rwanda Internet Exchange Point, as Richard mentioned. But before I'm talking about Quad9 and what is it, let us take a general overview about the domain name system and what is the problem on it, and then we can talk about Quad9. So I trust that all of you know what is the domain name system, the DNS system. And we can simply say this is the phone book for the internet. It translates the domain name system that you would like to access. So for example, www.example.org. And the domain name system will do the translation for that to be an IP address. So you will be able to access this IP address. How this process is happening, or how the DNS resolution happen, I'm not going to explain that because I'm sure all of us know about it. But I'm going to talk about what is the problem that's happened during the DNS resolution. Okay. First, if you are an internet user or you would like to access a website, www.example.org, so definitely you would like to, you will have a recursive resolver in your network that will be allowed to do this resolution process for you, right? By default, the connection between the end user and the recursive resolver is sent in a plain text, no encryption. So there is no guarantee this link is secure. So any bad guys in between or any man in the middle can sniff your data. And when they sniff your information, they can create a full profile about you. And of course, this is something not good because they are going to violate your privacy. Other things they can do, they can easily get information about you and collect information about your browser's histories, your email, some kind of software that is installed in your computer, and all this information, we call it PII, and that is personal identifiable information. And collecting this information is very easy, and to create a full profile about you, this is very easy for them also. And this is information, it's very valuable, and they can sell this information, or they can ask third parties to pay for this information that's already gathered about you. Okay. Other things we may find is if you are internet user and you are using DNS recursive resolver that is having any cast nodes in the web, like there is a mirror or there is a duplicate from your node in the different places in the web. So what will happen if your local node is offline or some kind of failure happened to your node? So what will happen to your packets? How your DNS resolution will happen? So indeed, the DNS query for these users will be rerouted to the nearest node to you, to the nearest node to your location. Of course, when the traffic is rerouted, that is going to affect the performance and how fast you will get the results. So sometimes you will not be able to know where's the next node to you, which node will be serving you, which node is managed by who. So all this is going to affect the delay, or it's going to make a delay in your packet. And this delay will depend on how far the node from you. So you will end up in situations that you don't know exactly what's happening to my packet. Yes, it has been rerouted, but for where and how, you have no idea. Okay. Right. Okay. The other problem we can see is when your recursive resolver has a cache miss. What do we mean by cache miss? What is cache miss meaning? Okay. So if you are an internet user or you have a users that trying to query, for example, www.QUAD9.net. What will happen is your DNS recursive server that is already listed on your device, or it has been provided by your ISP, or you got it somehow, will do the DNS resolution for it. It will go fast before it happened. Before the DNS resolution happened, the recursive resolver will check the cache, or will catch the cache is internal database. We'll see if I do have a record for this domain. If yes, then the results will come back to the client, and the client will be able to serve the website easily. But if the recursive doesn't have the IP address, so the full process for the DNS resolution need to happen. And this is what we call cache miss. Cache miss is when you don't have information about the query or the domains that you are asking for. So the recursive resolver, to communicate with other authoritative servers, they need to go outside and figure out where's the nearest node to me and how I need to communicate with that, and then get the result and send it back to the other recursive until we reach the IP address for the domain we would like to use. Okay, all of this, of course, and all this process is going to affect the performance, and of course, it's going to slow the responding time. Okay. Other problems that we can find here too, and it's related to the cache miss also. For the DNS resolution process to happen, as we said, the recursive resolver need to ask or to start with the root name server and the other authoritative name server to get that answer, right? So the recursive resolver will ask the root name server, where is www.example.org or where is www.quad9.net, for example. We will send the recursive resolver will send the query with the full domain that would like to access or try to access. There is no need to do that. Why you are sending the full domain for it? Because we all know, and for the DNS resolution to happen, or if you know the DNS hierarchy, everyone or every level knows only information about the level below it. It doesn't know more than that. So when you pass information to the root name server and asking for the full domain, the root name server will tell you that I don't know where is www.example.org. I know only where is org. So you can go there and then ask. So you don't need to send the full domain name. And this is what we are calling is a queue name a minimization. That's a query name need to be minimized, because sending the full domain is meaningless. You don't get any benefit from it. And other thing that is also a lot of many commercial recursive resolver operators, they are intentionally pass the user's IP addresses and the information and the DNS query and use this all information to create a record about the user's IP and what they are looking for. So, and of course, this is something you don't want to do. And also it's going to violate your privacy and also is meaningless. Okay. Other leak point on this system is that during the DNS resolution process, the connection between the recursive resolver and the authoritative name server need to be secured and has some kind of authentication or cryptographic authentication. And this is what we are calling DNSSEC. So during the DNS resolution or the DNS process, each point or each node need to be DNSSEC enabled and active. So with that, you can guarantee that the full chain of your trust is okay, nothing happened. If one node failed to do the DNSSEC validation or enabling, the full chain will be failed. So if one, and this is the issue that you don't know if all the nodes are activated or all of them are enabled with the DNSSEC or not. And you don't know if the results that you get is the right one or it's not compromised or something happened in between. So this is also a problem we need to look for. And this is what leading us to this point, like if we are adding additional authoritative name server to the chain for the DNS resolution, that means we are adding potential weak link to this chain, which could be compromised and caused to provide maybe malicious data to the end user. And you as an end user, you will not be able to know if this is a trusted answer, if it's compromised or not. So DNSSEC is very important. And if you don't know any information about the full chain, you will not be able, if it's malicious or the data has been compromised or not. Okay, so consider all the information that we have explained and the leak points that we have found on the domain name system. 3 organizations collaborated together to provide a DNS solution that can make the internet better. And this solution is open, free, safe, and faster. And that solution was Quad9. Okay. So how can Quad9 or how does Quad9 protect you or protect the user? So first, Quad9 is free and open recursive resolver that does not keep log or any PII, the personal identifiable information about you. Quad9 does not have any logs or records about the users or how they are doing on the internet. So Nothing can violate your privacy. Regarding to the security, since day one, QUAD9 is encrypted and provide DNSSEC validation for all the queries you are doing. Other thing, regarding to the cache mess and the QNAME minimizations problems that we have mentioned, QUAD9 bundled all the components for the DNS together. So the value of QUAD9 is included in PCH node. So the chance for your packet to be intercepted or to be hijacked or compromised is very low, because your query will be solved from one box. All these nodes is now in one box, and this box is already hosted locally in your Exchange point. So the chance for data to be compromised is very, very low. And for also, they decided to do this solution or QUAD9. We have made consider that not all the devices that are connected to the internet are computers or laptops or phones. There is also your TV, also your cameras, and any IoT devices you are using now, it's connected. So for you to protect and secure all these devices 100% is not an easy thing, but at least you can start protecting them. So if you are using QUAD9 as a recursive resolver, and when you are trying to access a website that is not safe and have some kind of malware, QUAD9 will, or your recursive resolver, will send you NX domain message. And what does NX domain message mean? That is domain not exist. And what does that mean? Domain not exist, that means you will not be able to access this website. So QUAD9 is protecting you and your device from accessing not secure websites that have some kind of malware or any bad things. Okay. Other things you may consider is that now I'm sure that a lot of you know a lot of DNS servers or authoritative servers that can be used. But if you choose to use an external DNS recursive server from a lot of options that you have, QUAD9 is the only non-profit organization that run. And it's open, recursive DNS server at scale. So you should ask yourself, are you comfortable with others, the non-profit organization, collecting your information or not? But QUAD9 does not need to gather any information about you. It doesn't make any records about the users. And it's a non-for-profit organization. That means it is protected by law. So your data will never, ever be recorded or being shared with other stakeholders or anything like that. So people doesn't generally consider non-for-profit is a good thing, but QUAD9 missions will never change, and it will stay, and the missions will never change. It will stay true. And you may also not believe me, or you may not take my word, because anyone can tell you that we don't collect your data. But the recent change that's happened for QUAD9 management, that QUAD9 moved its business registration to Switzerland. Now it's registered. And you can check the website for all the details, you know. And this is a very important steps, or this is very important proof for the users and individuals to prove that the longest string of protection. QUAD9 now is under supervision of Federal Data Protection and Information to Swiss law, and that means everyone in the world that's using QUAD9 can receive the same fully legally protection as a Swiss citizen. Okay. Okay. Now I have finished talking about QUAD9 in general, the features and what is the good things with QUAD9. Here I'm going to talk about QUAD9 statistic in Rwanda. We did a quick check from all the RIPE Atlas nodes in Rwanda. Unfortunately, there are only 3 nodes to see how they route to Quad9 and the PCH node that is in Rwanda Internet Exchange Point. In this table, we did not look to the performance characteristic. We were just trying to see if the Rwandese network have the routing table set up well to take the advantage from the local DNS service that is already hosted inside the Rwanda or not. And here what we found. So because there are only 3 ASN, the first one, the 328040, this AS number, when it's trying to reach Quad9 or PCH, it does not reach, as it did not communicate with the nodes that's inside Rwanda. It goes somewhere else. And this is naughty. We need to fix that. But for the other 2 AS numbers, that is green, which is great, they are being served with the nodes that's already inside Rwanda. So this is a general table for it. Let us take more details and dive more in on the results we get. So these results is for trace routes from each of the 3 RIPE Atlas props to Quad9. So this is a trace route result. And you can see from the 2 drops on the bottom of the page, that's on green, you can see that both of them on the trace route results, they are going to IP address 196.223.12.220, which is highlighted with black color. This is the IP address, or this is one of the IP addresses for the RINEX, Rwanda Internet Exchange Point. So here we can tell this is perfect. These 2 SNs are going to the Quad9 that is being hosted in Rwanda, and they are using the Rwanda Internet Exchange Point to access it, which is perfect. Let us see the Atlas probe in the red in the top of the picture. This one, if you look to the trace route, you can find an interesting IP is 196.223.21.50. Anyone can take a guess what is this IP address? I need to see the chat. Maybe someone will answer. If you know, write on the chat. Okay. I don't know how to see the chat, so because I'm sharing my screen, so I will answer this for you. This is the IP address is located in Kenya, Nairobi. And this is one of the IP addresses of the Kenya Internet Exchange Point. So why does this AS number sending packet from Rwanda to Kenya, to Nairobi? Anyone knows the distance between Nairobi and Kigali? How far they are? You can take a guess also. Honestly, I didn't know. While I'm preparing this slide, I went and looked. The distance between Rwanda and Kigali is more than 1,100 kilometers. So why this AS number is sending packet 1,100 kilometers far away? Sorry. While you can easily just send this packet inside your town. You already have a node inside your exchange point. So why you are doing that? So this is something not good, right? You cannot do something like that. The lesson here when we did this trace route is just to make sure that the routing is setting up correctly and you are making use from the useful resources that already hosted inside your country. You don't need to send your packet very far away to access something you already have it. That is going to affect your performance and of course delay for your packets. So we expected that AS number will fix the problem soon. Okay, the other stats we get about the Quad9 in Rwanda is the query per second. Here we took a graph for the last 14 days, how many queries you did for Quad9 per second for the last 14 days, yes. As you can see, the average of the packets or the query, sorry, is around 60. And you have one peak for 160, and that's only one peak and disappeared. So this is very low data, and we expecting you to help and encourage your community to benefit from this free service that is already allocated inside your country to increase this graph. Okay. Other graph we are having, this is the blocking state. In this graph, you can see there is the three different colors. The green color or the green blocks, this indicates the blocking rate comparing with the day before. And the pink blocks, indicates the percentage of the usage for this day. As you can see, this is for 14 days. And the light blue, yes, the light blue line, that is the gross and the percentage compared with the last day. So you can see the line is going very low comparing with the queries that you are doing. So that's also something we can do we can fix if you increase usage for Quad9 in the country. Okay. So now, lastly, we need to know how we can use Quad9. Now we know the privilege, the advantage of it, and we know the statistic. So how we can improve that and how we can use Quad9. If you are a user or for users, your system already using a DNS service that you get through your ISP or from other third-party provider. For you to switch to Quad9, this is very easy. You can look to the website www. Depending on your operating system, you just need to change your DNS, and that's very straightforward. But if you are a network operators or you are an ISP, internet service provider, so you can either do how you can use a Quad9 by providing it directly using Radius, PPPoE, or your DHCP, or you can set up your DNS server to use Quad9 as a forwarder. What is a forwarder? Forwarder DNS server is offering the same advantage for maintaining like a cache system. So it will do the recursive DNS or the resolution for you and will keep a cache for it inside it. And this is very useful in an environment where the external bandwidth transfer is costly. And when you wish, or if you wish to forward local queries to external servers. So you can use Quad9 because it's already there and it's already inside locally. So you don't need to use external bandwidths. And it will do the recursive for you and will keep a copy or cache the results. And when other users try to reach the same website, it will be already provided from the cache. So yeah, so that will help to improve the performance also. Okay. So yeah, that's all for me about Quad9 and how you can use it. If you have any question or if you have any concerns or comment, please, you can write on the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for a very nice presentation. We are going to the Q&A session. Everyone must type question in the Q&A section. But there are some questions asked about RINEX. There's a question from Emmanuel. What is the SLA availability of the service for RINEX? Do you have a redundancy link? The service availability for RINEX, we offer 100% service availability, and you have a backup RINEX switch. There's another question from is it possible to peer with the RINEX directory without involving an ISP? Yes, it is possible when you have a physical presence at telecom house where the RINEX switch are. You can peer directly to RINEX switch. The reason why you need an ISP is for transportation, to transport you from your offices where your network devices are to telecom house. That's why we involve ISP. But if you're physically located to telecom house where the RINEX switch are, you can connect directly. There's a question from Patrick Karimana. Here, Richard. How can we join RINEX? Just procedures. The procedure for joining RINEX, as I said in my presentation, first of all, you need to have a content that is, you want it to be accessed locally. Second, you need to have a public IP, as I said, from RINEX. You need to have ASN, autonomous system number. You need to have a transport to transport you from UNILAC to telecom house. And you need to have a router that is capable of doing BGP, because you need to do BGP with other peers if you want your services to be accessed from different networks. There's another question from Eli. Do you provide consultants in network optimization to the government institution? Basically, we don't provide a consultant, but we organize the trainings to train engineers for the both government and private institutions for the advanced network optimization. From that course, your engineers can be able to do network optimization for their respective institutions. I think that's all for the questions regarding RINEX. I can welcome Sarah for any answers from the questions asked regarding Quad9.
I'm trying to follow. I can see Nishal and Divya already answering them. But one of the interesting things we would like to do, so we have here 30 participants from different networks. We would like you to do a trace route to Quad9, and then let us see how fast do you get to it. And if you can provide us with which network you are connecting to. For example, your ISP name, if you are from a university, you are from bank, something. Just write your organization and send us a trace route. So we'll see. Are you using the nodes that inside your country, or no, you are going somewhere else? Hello, Richard, can you hear me?
Yes, Sarah.
Oh, okay. I can see Divya already pasted the commands for you on the chat. So if you are using Windows, you need to do the trace RT and then the Quad9. If you are using Linux or Mac, just trace route 9.9.9.9 and let us see the results.
Okay. If there's anyone who wants to speak or to ask a question, you can raise up your hand and we give you floor to ask a question.
Okay, that's great. I can see already there's someone is pasting the results. From which network you are? GetYeti?
Axiom Networks. This is from Axiom Networks.
Sorry, I did not hear.
The result is from Axiom Networks.
Okay, that's good. That means you are using the nodes that's inside Rwanda exchange point.
Yes, please.
Perfect. Can you please send the same results for 8.8.8.8? Just kind of curiosity.
It's higher.
It's higher.
Yeah.
We would like
Compared to
now. I would
Quad9.
like. Basis for your colleagues, so they can see the benefit and what we are saying, the delay and the performance. So this is the results, and we are in Geneva judged by results, so they can see the results and how it's important to have or to use local resources. Richard.
Yes, sir.
What is it? This is
from 4G network from KTLN.
Oh, okay. Why are you going to different? Okay.
But you see, the last IP is from RINEX.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I can see that. But it's still, this is a 4G because you are going through different.
Yeah, this is the 4G network. This one with.
Okay. Okay.
105.
Okay.
I hope there is no more questions, I think.
Okay, that's perfect. Eddie is also getting it through the using the exchange point. That's perfect. We want someone to trace the route for 8.8.8.8. You said it's higher, but how high it is? Can we see the numbers?
Good afternoon, everyone. Maybe I just wanted to jump in for a few minutes before you end the conversation. My name is Grace Ingabire. I'm the CEO of RITA. Sorry, I joined very late towards the end of the webinar. I had some urgent matters to sort out, but I would like first to take this opportunity to thank the PCH team, Nishal, Dibia, and Sarah. Thank you very much for this opportunity that you gave to the Rwandan community to learn about the Quad9 service. I tried to follow at the end, at least there are a few I could capture, but I will watch the whole recording later on. Since we are still in discussion and we are open to receive the question that can be addressed either to Rikta or to Sarah, who is still around, I would like to talk a bit in our local language so that those who feel they are not comfortable to ask questions, they can just jump in. So please, umuntu waba ufite ikibazo icyo ari cyo cyose, mwacyandika muri chat cyangwa mwazamura ukuboko kwanyu, hari ahantu handitse raise your hand somewhere kuri ntuza, ukazamura ukuboko tukaguha nawe ukavuga, cyangwa ukandika ikibazo cyawe muri chat. Aba bantu baje hano kugira ngo badufashe, so barifuza ko babahaye byinshi, babigishije byinshi, ariko barifuza ko mwumva ko ari n'ibibazo bituruka muri twebwe. Ndatekereza ko mwabyumvise byinshi, ariko again nanone bari hano, turacyafite iminota mikeya, rwose umuntu waba wumva hari ikintu ashaka kuvuga mu rurimi rumworoheye rwose yatubwira, ashobora kucyandika ikibazo muri chat cyangwa akamutinga himself akagira contribution yagira cyangwa ikibazo icyo ari cyo cyose. So please feel free, anyone with a question, you can just unmute yourself or just post your question in the chat section.
Thank you, Grace. And we are very happy to help you and Rwanda's community. If you need any help from us, we are welcome, and you are welcome to help. Okay, I can find already some results about DNS Google. Okay, 8.8.8.8, and you can see that is a very high, and the delay is very high to reach the nearest node to you. It seems like it's in Kenya also.
Sarah, I can see a question there in the chat. Someone from Rwanda Revenue Society asking, what are the requirements to peer with Quad9?
There is no requirement to peer with Quad9. If you are a part of, if you are already on the exchange point, you will definitely be able to use a service, but you can pair with PCH, AS42, 42, and 3856, and Dibia here can help you more and give you more details because he is responsible about the peering session. You can communicate him and just set up a peering session between your network and PCH, and then you will be able to peer with Quad9. Okay, I can see Divya already answered the question.
Just to add to what Sarah is saying, hello everybody, my name is Nishal and I work with the PCH team. What you need to remember is if you want to use Quad9, you don't have to peer with PCH at RINEX. Quad9 is available for use in RINEX, of course, and if you want to make sure that your packets are always going to stay in Rwanda, then yes, the absolute best thing for you to do is to peer with PCH at the RINEX in Rwanda, in Kigali, and then your packets will stay there and then it'll be nice and fast. But for example, if you're listening in on this call and you're a bank and you might not be thinking about peering right now, but some of the other services that Quad9 offers, for example, the automatic DNS firewall, the thing that blocks requests to malware, if that's something that interests you, if you're a school, this is something that should interest you, and you're not peering, then you don't need to worry about the peering bits. All you need to do is take note of how DNS is provisioned in your environment. For example, if you're a school, you probably have a DHCP server on site. Then you can go to the DHCP server and you can configure Quad9 as a DNS server, and then you'll get the benefit of the Quad9 services. The fact that it will do the malware filtering for you, the fact that it's local, it's in Kigali, so it's fast, and the fact that there's no inherent spying, nobody's trying to build a profile. Nobody's collecting any of your valuable personal information. That's all important. That should be important to you. And those are things that you can use immediately without peering. Sarah was very light when she described how to use the service. If you go to www.quad9.net, you can see how to use it individually. So for example, if you want to configure this on your laptop, if you want to configure this on your phone, there's detailed instructions, there's videos there. And if you're a network operator, which is even better, and you want to do this for your network, there's tips and tricks for you there, or you're welcome to reach out to any of us. Sarah put up her email address, and both Pratibha and myself will give you our email addresses as well.
Thank you for that, Nishal. Thank you so much. Any other burning question? There is an email already in the chat, nishal@pch.net. There is Dibia as well, and Sarah has given her email address earlier. So feel free to reach out to them, but we are still requesting, do you have any burning question? So Richard, can you put our official email, or let me just put it? You can reach out to us as well at knock@richter.org.rw. Now, mufite ikindi kibazo, please. Is everything clear to you?
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Gatete. Please go on.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Yves Gatete from Axiom Networks. Actually, I shared the result as we are peering with PCH through RINEX. When I try to trace out the 99, I'm getting the good result, which is 2 milliseconds. My question is, like most of customers, when they are trying to test the internet, they used to use Google DNS, which is even showing the results, which seems to be higher compared to Quad9. So within the result we are getting, which is low on Quad9, you mean you advise that it can be used like for testing, or on the other side, it's not, on my understanding, I think it's not only peering like that and having low latency. So you advise that even end users can start using those DNS.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Gatete. So I'm going to answer this in two ways. What I'm going to say is that what are you trying to do by using Quad9? I use it in my home, and I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that in my home, if something in my home might accidentally be available to be compromised, that I have the best kind of protection against that. In my home, I have a television that is connected to the internet. I have lights, the normal house lights that are connected to the internet, and I'm working on getting a fridge that will be connected to the internet. And I can tell you that in the 10 years that I've had my television, the vendor has stopped releasing updates for my Samsung television. I'm going to call them out, Samsung. They've stopped releasing updates for it. So there's no such thing. There's no availability for me to be able to install some kind of antivirus on my television. If you can, that's fantastic for you. I cannot do this on my 10-year-old TV, and I'm not interested in replacing it. It's still a good TV. So how do I make sure that my TV, which sometimes needs to do DNS requests, how do I make sure that that TV is safe? Well, I can do this in a few ways, right? I can set up my own home DNS server, and I can intercept my DNS, and I can do a whole lot of fancy stuff. And I do that, by the way, because I've been using DNS for probably longer than most of you have been online. But what about my mom? My mom is 74 years old this year. She doesn't know what DNS is. And trying to teach her about setting up a Raspberry Pi at home, and mom, you need to plug this and make sure that the red light, that doesn't work. So for me, if I go to my mom's place and I just configure 9.9.9.9 on her little router that connects her to the internet, that works. And I'm left with relative security that my mom's internet access is going to be secure, and it's going to be safe. And because I live in Johannesburg, and because I know that there's a Quad9 node in Joburg, I know that the Quad9 service will be fast. So that works really well for me. If I could do that, I would suggest every individual user does that, because I think that that's a great way to get individual security. But that doesn't scale. And you know as well as I know that a lot of people are just have it into their heads that the answer for DNS for everything is 8.8.8.8. And you pasted in the traceroute that shows 8.8.8.8 is going off, oh sorry, Mr. Kalisa pasted the traceroute that showed that 8.8.8.8 is going off into Kenya. Why would you intentionally send your packets to something that is further away and also something that is actually going to profile you? That makes no sense to me. So if I was a network operator, I would be very worried about that. I would be worried about protecting my users, and I would be worried about giving them the best possible performance. The best possible performance is something that is in Kigali, not something that is 1,100 or 1,200 kilometers away, right? So whatever's in Kigali should generally work better for me. Then I'd be worried about the PII, and I guess not lastly, but I'd also really, really, really be worried about providing them with the best kind of security. Because if I was a network operator, any attempt that I can make to have my users not hit some kind of malware site means that that's probably a call to my help desk that's going to be saved later on. It's probably a call that's going to be made at some point about why is my bandwidth finished, why is my data bundle finished, etc., etc., etc. I can mitigate against all of that. If I was a network operator, the way that I would mitigate against that is by simply saying, either on my DNS server, put a folder into Quad9, as Sarah explained, or by just saying, all users, I'm just going to hand out Quad9 in DNS to you, and then you go straight to Quad9, and you don't have to worry about actually coming to my internal DNS service. As a network operator, it's your choice what you want to do, right? Whether you want users to go straight to Quad9 or whether you want them to use your DNS server, and your DNS server then create is Quad9. As a techie, I would tell you that I prefer the second part. I actually prefer users to use my DNS server and then go to Quad9. And the reason is really, really simple. The reason is at some point, as a network operator, I want to do analysis of my DNS. I want to know what my users are using. I want to be aware of what's going on in my network. And if you send all your users to Quad9, the thing that you should be aware of is that Quad9 can't provide you with any kind of statistics. We don't log the IP addresses. Sarah made a point of saying that. And because we don't log IP addresses, we can't tell you which user is creating what at any given time. So if I could do that on my side as a NetOp, and then have my internal DNS server forward on to Quad9, I can still do my analysis, but I get the benefit of the Quad9 protection, the Quad9 anti-malware services as well. And because it's, if you're a network operator and you're peering at the exchange, this is 2 milliseconds away. And because it's 2 milliseconds away, I know my answers are going to be really fast. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much for the feedback. It's clear. Thank you. So there is a possibility to use our primary DNS, then your DNS as well.
Absolutely. So if you're an ISP, you have a recursive DNS server. Your recursive DNS server is configured in one of two modes. You would typically say, if you're a recursive DNS server, go and find the answer out on the internet by yourself. Or if you're a recursive DNS server, go and forward to another server and have that server find the answer for us. What you could do is you could simply say, configure your own recursive DNS servers now to say, just forward to Quad9, and Quad9 can do the lookups for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any other question? Is everything clear to everyone?
If you allow me, I just want to sum up the 4 key points here, because I'm not sure that it might have gotten through to everybody. Firstly, Quad9 is in Kigali. It's local to you. It's fast. It's in the same building that the Richter team are in. I think it's still in the same building. I haven't been there in a while. So if you really wanted to, I guess you could go walk up and look at the services. And I'm saying that in Kigali, and I'm making a joke about looking at it, because it's local to you. That has to mean something, the fact that it's in your internet ecosystem. The fact that you are not sending your packets to Nairobi or you are not sending your packets to Johannesburg means that it will always be faster, okay? Quad9 is free. It's always going to be free. And it was set up specifically to protect the rights of, I want to say, innocent internet users like you and I, people that don't want to think about whether or not our private information is being collected. We have a right to use the internet. We want to use the internet, and we want to use the internet in a manner where our rights are preserved, okay? If Quad9 doesn't spy on you, and if you think that Quad9 spies on you, well, now you have the Swiss government on your side. So if you think what Sarah went very lightweight over, if you think that Quad9 is doing something that it shouldn't be doing by collecting your information, you have rights, the same rights that are accorded to anybody in Switzerland. And go and read it. Actually, it's well written on the Quad9 website on how you can actually sue Quad9 using the Swiss government if you think Quad9 is violating the rights. That is how certain we are that we're not processing your personal information. Can you get that from somebody else? Somebody asked about an SLA. Well, I think this is a fantastic SLA for you to go and worry about. And I guess the last part, and then this is usually important for people that care about network security, and this is something we should all care about today. Quad9 acts as a free malware blocker, a free DNS firewall for you. So it shouldn't be the only thing you use to protect yourself from getting any kind of infection, but it is certainly a really, really good start. Now, I missed the statistics for Rwanda because I wasn't doing the slides, Sarah did, but I did the same talk for South Africa a while back at the beginning of the year. And I can tell you that every single day in South Africa, Quad9 blocks more than 1.2 million malware lookups. That is more than 1.2 million malware lookups every single day. That is 1.2 million times that Quad9 prevents a crime from happening. Because that's what it is, right? Malware is being run by criminals out there, organized crime. And Quad9 is protecting these people from doing something bad. Now, those numbers are not the same for Kigali right now because, as you can see, a lot of you aren't probably using the Quad9 service. But if you can get to that point where you have this online policeman fighting on your behalf, I think that that is a fantastic goal for you to achieve.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nishal. Let me try to talk in our local languages again here. So, mwabyumvise badusobanuriye ko iyi ni opportunity tubonye. Dufite a free DNS. A free irimo secured, irahari, turahari. So, mufate iyi opportunity kandi muzaho abenshi nduba muzaho dukorera n'abashaka kumenya details zirenze ibyo bababwiye. We are open for discussion. Dukorera Telecom House nuko muri minsi dukorera online. Twabahaye email address yacu. You can feel free to reach out to us. Tukabaganiriza ariko please mwumvise izo statistics yatanze from South Africa zama malware bashoboye kublockinga. So we have that service. Dufite iyo service iri mu Rwanda, iri available, iri free. Let's take this opportunity tuyikoreshe. Ye kuba ari ikintu twasabye tuzanye mu gihugu for the benefit of the internet community, ariko kibe cyicaye aho nta kintu kimaze. Twahamagaje aba bantu kugira ngo baze babasobanurire kuko sometimes hari igihe twabasobanurira service mukabona ari ibintu bisanzwe, ariko noneho twateye n'intambwe ngo tuzane abantu basanzwe bayikoresha, abantu bagiye babivuga no mu bindi bihugu kugira ngo baze batuganiriza akamaro kayo. Twari dusanzwe tuyifite, twagerageje kwengaging aba operators n'ama SPs menshi kugira ngo bayikoreshe, ariko twatekereje hejuru yabyo yuko twakorganizinga a webinar kugira ngo buri muntu wese unutabyumvaga n'uwari ugifite ikibazo aba afite a team of experts bamaze igihe bayikoresha babonye akamaro kayo. So iyi opportunity rwose twe kuyibura. Ndumva muri team dufite email addresses zanyu, tuzagerageza gukurikirana kugira ngo he kuba dufite serivisi, nzi ko abanyarwanda turi intwari rwose, dufite serivisi iri aho, iri available to the community, tugerageze tuyikoreshe, sibyo?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Sibyo?
Yes,
Rwose
yes.
tugerageze, the team, muri technical team, Richard azagerageza to reach out to you guys, waba afite ikibazo, waba ushaka indi guidance, yaba akeneye, waba ushaka kuganiriza na PCH, tuzagerageza to coordinating your activity, ariko tubone iyi service ikoreshwa, especially ko mwese mwumvise akamaro kayo, akamaro itumariye twebwe nka community y'abanyarwanda. Nidumva ariyo nicyo kintu nashatse ngo highlighting. Hari igihe dushobora kuvuga ibyongereza byinshi, ariko sometimes banumva dukeneye no kuvugana no mu rurimi rwacu. Barabitwemereye, mwe kugira barabizi ko interaction yakagombye kuvanga muri izo ndimi ebyiri. So niba nta kindi kibazo, ndumva first of all mbanze menye niba nta kindi kibazo mufite cyangwa igitekerezo. Okay, so I think there are no more questions, Nishal and Tim. So I was just trying to summarize in our local language, maybe for those who did not understand, just to talk about the small summary that you mentioned about the usage of Quad9, a service that is free, that is available in Rwanda, that we are not really using as it is supposed to be. So I don't know if there is any other comment from either Sarah, either Nisha or Dibia before we close our meeting.
Grace, if you allow me.
Yes, please, Gatete. Please go on.
Actually, it's, my question is like somehow, I was wondering why the name Quad9, yet they have like a second DNS, which is 149.111.112. I was curious to know.
Okay, I can answer that.
Okay.
So the Quad9 project started out probably in discussion around 2016, 2017, when we were actually approached as PCH. We were approached by the European Union regulators to say, we can see this problem on the internet, the problem that people are harvesting DNS information. How do we come up with a solution for this? And so we proposed the idea of starting a service, an Anycast DNS service, an open service like it is today, running it. It was called Cleaner DNS, actually. That was the company that was registered for it. So you probably still find the name Cleaner DNS in some places. And initially, the first test IP address that we used was 149.112.112.112. And we went through various iterations of trying to find different IP addresses. At one point, we were close to, my favorite was going to be 160.0.0.0.0. That's actually a legal address. It would have worked. And then at the last minute, IBM stepped up, and IBM said, we really like this project. We want to become part of the project. We value the work that you're doing. We think it's important. We will give you some of our threat information. So Quad9 as a company, Quad9 actually doesn't have its own threat analysis division. They don't build models to say, this is who is good, this is who is bad, these are the malware sites. We get that information from about 19 other different threat information providers, people that do this for a professional service, people like IBM, for example, right? So IBM said, we want to be part of the project. Here's the data that we have. Here's our list of malware IPs, etc. And here's how we can manage and keep it up to date on a regular basis. Oh, and by the way, we have this cool IP address block. Would you like to have that? And it was 9.9.9.0/24. And that sounded really good at the time. It sounded much better than 149.112.112.112. So we took the address on them, and then Quad9 just became a name that followed after that.
Oh, okay, now it's clear. Thank you.
Any comments? Maybe just to give some highlight, And before we close our meeting, I would like to thank again the team from PCH for your time to discuss with the Rwandan community. So what we'll do after this, this is the first session, and I believe we will continue with more. I have seen that the attendance was low comparing to the registration that we had. So we'll continue locally with assistance of our technical team. We'll invite more people and talk about this service. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for, again, for the participants who came today, and we'll continue with the kind of conversation later. So Nishal, I don't know if you have any closing remark before we close our meeting.
I have nothing to say except thank you to the Richter team for asking us to come and do this. We're always happy to work with you. We're very happy to support you. And I hope to see more people in Kigali and in Rwanda using Quad9.
Yes. Nishal, I promise on this, we'll make a follow-up on that. We'll engage more, we'll have more session with other team who could not even attend, and we believe this will work out. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Sarah. Thank you, Nishal. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much.